Good afternoon, MPC. Good afternoon, Presidential Spokesperson Salvador Panelo.
Hello, good morning. Good noon, rather.
Question?
Start.
Let's start.
Joseph.
Question, MPC.
Ina.
First question from... Wala pa? Okay. RJ, mic please.
Sir, have you talked to Speaker Arroyo regarding the 2.4 billion in alleged pork insertion in the
I wasn't
2019
able
budget?
to talk to her, but she texted that Congressman Maricar Zamora explained it already.
Mhm.
Their explanation is that, contrary to the allegation of pork barrel, they said that this time there were items, and these items were given by different agencies. In other words, prior to the approval, they've been there. Unlike the pork barrel lump sum where there is no specific item where it will go. That's the explanation.
So, do you agree, sir, na walang irregularities doon?
Well, you know, the position of the palace is that that's a different branch. Now they have to do their job. And I understand from what I read in the papers today that Budget Secretary Jokno has been invited to explain. So we'll leave it at that. We'll see.
What about the president, sir? What's his position?
This position is, I was talking to him and he said that there must be some explanation on the part of Speaker Arroyo and others. So let's hear them.
All right, sir.
RJ,
Thank you.
thank you. MPC, question? In relation with that, other matters, Joseph. Okay, please.
Sir, you've issued a statement before, no? Kay dun sa acquittal ni former Senator Revilla.
Yes.
But just to belabor the point, what does the palace think of the decision na acquitting the former senator?
Well, our statement is that we bow to the decision of the court. We have never interfered and never will we interfere.
What do you think will the effect be on the other pork barrel cases, like the ones against former Senator Enrile and Estrada?
Again, that will depend on the evidence presented by the prosecution in those cases you mentioned. It's the court's call. The constitutional duty is imposed on them to decide on the basis of evidence. We will not interfere.
Sir, the president said before, no, na parang before, way back, na
Yeah.
lalabas si Senator Revilla. Do you think this has
Lalabas?
any...
What do you mean
Hindi,
lalabas?
I mean, may statement siya na gano'n na parang... do you think that has an effect on this case or none?
First, I don't remember him saying that. When was this? Second, I don't think any statement coming from the president with respect to a personal opinion will
Influence?
effect any influence on the part of the judiciary. These are men of independence and probity. They will decide on the basis of law and evidence. Any accused or party litigant agreed or is not satisfied with the decision, there are legal remedies available under the law. They can always go to the higher courts.
Sir, just one last point on the case, no? The court decided na yung chief of staff niya and Ms. Napoles are guilty. But there was a dissent from one of the justices who voted against the acquittal that said that it is impossible for Attorney Cambe and Ms. Napoles to access the PDAF because it is under the control of the lawmaker. I ask this because this is probably the heart of all the other PDAF cases pending before the Sandigan Bayan. What's the palace's?
Again, we will repeat what I said earlier. We will not interfere with the courts.
Um,
We will bow to the decision of the court. Dissenting opinion will always be there, but our rule is that majority prevails. So we will abide by that.
okay.
Anybody, again, as I said, who questions that can always go to the higher courts.
With due respect, sir, this is not
again?
probably with due respect, no. I'm asking about your position, whether you agree that anyone outside of probably a staff could probably do plunder.
First, I'm not privy to that. Second, the executive neither is privy to that. Two, strictly speaking, the court will have to decide on the basis of evidence presented to it by the prosecution and decide. We can indulge in speculation, but again, the rule of law will always prevail. We have to bow to the majesty of the law, regardless of who are involved.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Thank you, Joseph. MPC, question? Wala na. Nestor, please.
Morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Sir, Presidential son Paulo Duterte posted on his Facebook account list of groups and individuals, which includes Vice President Robredo, Justice Carpio, some journalists, and even top companies in the country, allegedly plotting against the government. Robredo has slammed this as irresponsible because there were no proofs of evidence regarding their alleged involvement in the said destabilization efforts. What's the palace take on this, sir? Is Malacañang supporting these claims of the presidential son?
First, we are not privy to the list issued by the former vice mayor. Number two, the president always respects the freedom of expression. And the vice mayor then may have some reasons for issuing such a list. We do not know. And anybody who feels aggrieved, they can always refute the allegation contained in the list. That is the beauty of democracy. There will be, as the saying goes, free market of ideas and expressions.
Will the president talk to his son regarding this alleged list of groups and individuals?
The president, as a policy, doesn't talk to the children with respect to their principled positions or political decisions.
Having this such claim, sir, from the former vice mayor, is this a cause of concern for Malacañang?
As I said, the president respects. So I'm sure the former vice mayor is competent enough to explain his position on the matter.
Nestor, follow-up. Number. Thank you, Nestor. And follow-up on that issue, Chona, bago mag-shift sa...
Pero sir, this statement coming from a presidential son and concerning the president, isn't the palace bothered about it?
You know,
Concerned?
the former vice mayor is a son, and all sons will react to any plot, any conspiracy that he perceives to be against a father. So it is his right to react on certain things that he knows that we do not know of.
Follow-up. Chona. Still on the plot? Follow-up?
Will the
Ah, okay.
palace
Chona,
not...
Chona.
Is your list, is your name in the list?
No, sir. Pero sir, will the palace not ask the national security personnel to verify this report?
If there is a request from the source himself, maybe. But, you know, as I said earlier, the palace will never interfere with anything that concerns matters that he is not privy of, the president.
Still on the plot, follow-up, Henry?
Yeah, Secretary. Pero kung merong seryosong banta, meron bang kapasidad ang kahit sino mang individual o grupo na pabagsakin ng kasalukuyang administrasyon sa inyong
Well,
palagay?
given the popularity rating of the president, no coup or for that matter, conspiracy will succeed.
So kung
The
walang chance,
PNP and the military are in support of the president as well as the majority of the Filipinos.
so kung walang chance yung pahayag ni Presidential San Paulo Duterte, ano sa tingin ninyo? Dapat nang ibasura or kalimutan na o wag pansinin?
Again, I will repeat, that is his right, and we cannot deprive this person of expressing his sentiment, especially because he is a son, and all sons have the right to defend, to neutralize any attempt to discredit or to assault the reputation or the integrity of a father.
Okay. Still follow-up on the plot, Christine? Okay. Christine, Joseph, and RJ. Okay.
Sir, but the son made serious allegations against certain individuals and companies. So hindi ba parang the palace should make a stand because being the presidential son, he could have access to certain confidential information.
Well, as I said earlier, the people who were listed there are companies. They can always respond. They can always refute the allegations. That's what freedom of expression is all about.
So they'll just refute the allegations that.
Well, if they can show that it's wrong, then there is always legal remedies available to them.
But shouldn't Mr. Duterte be responsible enough na you won't make these kinds of allegations because people will react.
Who will react? Which reaction? But as I said, they can always refute. The president will not interfere.
Christine, okay na? Okay. Joseph, and after Joseph, RJ, doon sa plot.
Sir, you said this is a freedom of expression?
Yes. When you, for instance, accuse somebody of committing a crime, that's part of freedom of expression. Now, provided you do not violate the law, because if you do, then you are subject to libel laws.
Sige.
Okay. RJ,
Sir, on Speaker Arroyo again, you said Speaker Arroyo told you that this time there were items. What do you
No,
mean, sir?
not President Arroyo. He said, she said in the text message that that has already been explained by Congressman Maricar Zamora.
Mhm.
And I was able to talk to her, and she explained to me the way she explained
What did
it
she
in the
exactly say,
newspaper.
sir?
She said that this is not a pork barrel because it's the items have already been there prior to the approval. And not only that, she said, even according to Andaya, there's so many other congressmen, even beyond the amount referred to as having allocated to the area of Speaker Arroyo.
All right, sir.
okay. MPC, other matters or doon sa sa budget. Rose, please.
Sir, nabanggit niyo na po kanina na magpupunta si Secretary Jokno sa Congress sa
Yes.
question hour. Ano po ang stand ng Malacañang regarding sa allegations ng ibang kongresista na ang executive branch ang dahilan kung bakit nade-delay yung passage po ng national budget for 2019?
Well, you must remember that the national budget has been submitted on the day the SONA was delivered. So I do not think you can fault the executive branch. It's the duty of Congress to deliberate on the matter.
Meron din pong allegations na ang executive branch ang nag-i-insert po ng mga certain proposal sa budget.
Well, let's see. Since Secretary Jokno will be appearing there tomorrow, let's hear.
Nire-refute din po ba ng Palace yun pong sinasabi nila na ang Duterte admin po ay may malaking underspending for the first 2 years of the Duterte administration.
Let's hear that from the horse himself, Secretary Jokno. He's the one, the boss in the budget thing.
Okay
Sige,
na,
sir.
Rose.
Thank you po.
Salamat. Other matters, MPC? Okay, other matters. Joseph?
Sir, some martial extension.
Yes.
Last Friday, it was announced that the president has already requested Congress to
Yes.
extend. Do we have the document as to maybe that will outline the basis for the
I
extension?
do not have a copy. Maybe we can ask the office of the ES.
Yeah. There's a schedule already for the special session, do you think?
I do not know. I have no info on that.
You can elaborate perhaps on the basis of extension?
No,
Request for
according to
extension?
Congress, they will have to see whether they agree on the factual basis under which the extension is being asked. And that's supposed to be their duty.
Yeah, but
So let's just wait.
of course, on the basis, the government has basis to extend it,
I'm sure,
Executive.
otherwise it will not recommend.
which is,
Which is, according to the Secretary of National Defense, the threat remains. There's still, the rebellion is still going on. So the same grounds given the Congress when it extended martial law.
okay.
Joseph. Thank you, Joseph. MPC, questions? If there are none. Okay. Yeah, Christine, habol natin. Sige, Christine.
Sir, this morning, Senator Risa Ontiveros said that the president is the singlest.
The what?
Wait, sir. I'll get it right. She said that the president is the single biggest threat to human rights in the country, and she attributed, among others, it on the war on drugs. Is this a fair statement, sir? Kasi
She's entitled to her opinion. She's been saying that since she became a senator or after the assumption of the presidency.
the president respects human rights, sir.
Of course, we've been saying so, and we have shown it. We prosecute people who violate human rights.
Christine. MPC? Follow up?
Sir,
Okay, Chona.
how will you describe yung human rights situation sa Pilipinas ngayon?
Human rights, as depicted by the critics, as well as those critics from abroad, do not reflect what is happening on the ground. When they keep on saying that many have been killed, they make it appear as if the killings are state-initiated. But we have repeatedly said that the fact alone that policemen are killed during operations will already rebut the theory that this is state-initiated. The fact is, even prior to the assumption of the presidency of former Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte, killings have occurred. And we've been saying that these killings are the result of people in the drug syndicate. They want to silence people from naming their accomplices. They want to silence people from pointing to them. And some of them could be deals or fraudulent deals between and amongst them. Killings only come in connection with police operations when the suspects resist violently and endanger the lives of those in the operation. And as we have shown in the Kian case, it was the president himself who ordered the arrest and the detention, and he categorically stated that such conviction cannot yield to a pardon from him because it was done intentionally and not in accordance with the duty imposed to the policeman by law.
Okay, Jonah, no more follow-up. MPC, questions? No more?
The party is on. Tomorrow na yun. Sa mga kabila.
Okay. Okay. MPC, maraming salamat. Presidential
you.
Spokesperson Salvador Panelo. Balik tayo sa Radyo Pilipinas and PTV.